You know you should charge more. You've read all about all the different pricing strategies out there, yet you're still discounting yourself. Here's the real reason why and what to do about it. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jana Nixa, the Authentic Sales Coach. I help coaches, consultants, and service-based entrepreneurs create incredible high-ticket offers and then teach you a simple sales process so that you can close more clients. Of course, pricing's a massive piece of this. What I can tell you after decades of experience as a top performing sales executive, 40,000 sales calls, and working with tons of clients over the last 5 years, it rarely has to do with the price. I know. And so when we spend all of this time trying to figure out what the right price is, the bottom line is you're familiar with the idea of beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And it's the same thing with price. The better you're able to communicate the value, the clearer the transformation, the what's in it for them, the more it's going to signal to their brain that you have done an enormous amount of work around this and you know exactly what to do to get them where they need to go. That's one piece of it. The other piece of it is you actually believing that. When I say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, that's on both sides of this. You also have to see yourself as the expert, as the person that can do it. And so when you combine those two things, you can truly charge whatever you want. And a little bonus on this, if you think about specialists like doctors, right? You've got an ENT, which is already a specialist that makes more than a primary care, right? And then you have just the specialized ear doctor that makes even more than the ENT. Then you have a specialist ear portion inside the ear doctor that is going to make the most. So the more specialized you can be, the more, I don't even want to call it just niched down because people get so triggered by niche, but you can see the more specialized you are, the more it signals that you're an expert. So for that person that has that specific problem, are you going to want to go to a primary care doctor? Or are you going to go to the doctor that specializes in that portion of the ear and fixing the exact problem you have? When you are able to do that, that's why people will pay so much more money for a specialist, because they are so convinced, even prior to meeting the doctor, that they can do it because they have the credentials that say they can. The more you can really get specific on that problem, the more power it's going to have. It's kind of you think if, let's say you're a web designer, right? And it's I can build websites. It's that's great. But if you say, I specialize in building websites for health coaches who focus on autoimmune, then all of a sudden you are now in their brain, this is the person I have to work with if I want a successful website in this space. By default, that specialty, we've been accustomed, or if you will, programmed, that is a higher ticket item. And so I could go on and on and on. But before I do, I want to also demonstrate that when I say this to my clients, they're I don't know though, but how many possible health coaches that specialize in autoimmune could there be? And remember, I often quote one of my mentors, and he owns a $100 million plus liquid vitamin business. Okay. And that's only 1% of the vitamin market. Think about that. $100 million company, and it's only 1% of the vitamin market because there's only a few types of patients or customers that are going to want to take liquid vitamins, right? So very young children, very elderly. They're able to build a $100 million company. So don't let your ego and your fear and lack consciousness lead you to believe that, I don't know, if I just do that, then there's not going to be enough, because there's absolutely more than enough. So now that I've given you a little bit of a reason why you can charge more, and that if you're doing high ticket, you absolutely, I don't love the word should, but I would encourage you to really look at it is because the only way you can help more people is to really step up, go pro, and claim your spot. And that it begins with owning your own value and owning your own worth. And so when I work with my clients, it doesn't even come down to, okay, fine, I need to do it. I want to do it. I should do it, Jana. But how do I even embody that? Take out a piece of paper and write down all the things you know about this subject. Every result you've been able to help people get with the current transformation that you offer. Like, what are all the things? And then what are the other things because of this thing that you help them achieve? Not just that. I want you to add up all the books, all the courses, all the training, all the experience, everything that you've done that made you decide that you're going to start a business doing this thing. I want you to own it. And it's so crazy. I'll talk to you about my journey for a minute. I have all this sales experience, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's good, whatever. And then one of my coaches asked me, Jana, how much have you actually closed in one business deal negotiation? And I sat and I thought about it and I was like, gosh, I'd never even thought about this. $2.2 million. And so where's your gold nuggets that maybe you just kind of forgot about, didn't really think that was a big deal at the time? And then she goes on to ask, Jana, how much have you closed in 1 year in terms of sales? And I said, I think my biggest year was just under 10 million. And it's like, whoa. But when we are in our zone of genius, when we are going through the motions and doing our things, you forget how brilliant you are. I have one of my clients that I love dearly, and she's always like, I just don't feel like human design is that special. Everybody knows about it. And I'm like, whoa, what? Everybody does not know about it. You could change the world with human design in so many ways, not to mention the layers that it helps people peel back. It's about owning that and really embodying it. What I like to help people do here is going in and doing some mirror work around this. Like, I am an incredible coach, or I am an incredible mentor. I change lives. And really own that in the mirror with yourself and feel that into your body. Cool thing about any of the inner work that we do is it's a cumulative thing. So it's kind of like if you were to go to the gym and be like, Jana, I did curls twice. Didn't really work. Well, no. But where does anything in life work that way? If I can offer you anything in this video and from my channel, it's stop treating a business like it's different than anything else in life. If you want to be good at something, you have to do it and do it a lot and figure out what works. Figure out where the gaps are. Get a coach, somebody to help you see your blind spots. That's how we get better at everything, from teachers to coaches to mentors to bosses to parents. That's how we do this. Building a business is no different. It's not about just trying things once or twice and going, And something else that comes up underneath a lot of this money stuff and what to charge is your own money story. And so I would highly suggest that you get familiar with that, because it's going to be really difficult for you to make money in your business if you have an underlying competing fear called, I don't feel like it's good to charge a lot of money because money is evil. Or you're going to make it a lot harder to build your business if you have a limiting belief going on in the background that says, making money is really hard, right? If I say to you, money, when I was growing up, money was fill in the blank. Another one I used to hear a lot is money doesn't grow on trees. We want to kind of figure out what those are so that you can start to see if that belief is a decision, and probably a decision you made before you even understood what money was, that was just imparted on you by your parents, by your caretakers. You can make a different decision. The more we can understand the inner workings, the more that's going to be reflected in our ability to communicate, the impact we make, in the conviction that we have when we go to sell our offer. Because at the end of the day, the 3 biggest C's when it comes to closing more sales are clarity, confidence, and conviction. And while some of those things can be worked up on the outside, helping you, really own some of the pieces of your offer and get really clear and all of that. A lot of it as well, which is why I love to talk about working on the woo and the do, is an internal thing and really like coming to terms with your value, your worth. The bottom line is you're cheating people out of a better experience with you. And here's why. Let's go back to the doctor analogy. Let's say you need brain surgery and you've got a doctor that charges $1,000 and then another doctor that charges $25,000. Who do you think you're going to go to? And, there's this common misconception that it's all about like pricing at the right price so that they can afford it. And that's actually not it. Because what that signals to our brain is an entire different mentality and thus attracts an entirely different client. And spoiler alert, no offense, typically, even some of my realtors that are clients of mine, they're like, oh my gosh, the ones that have the house they're trying to sell for $50K are far more work than the house I'm trying to sell at $50,000K or $5 million K. It's crazy. $5 million K. It's crazy. When you are trying to price at that lower level, not only are you signaling to the universe that you don't fully believe in yourself, it's also subconsciously signaling to those premium buyers that there's something's up here. And then it's attracting those that are just looking for a deal and are going to milk you for everything you're worth. And to add even more insult to injury around this, typically those that are looking for the deal and don't want to spend a lot, they don't put a lot of skin in the game. The transformation is in the transaction. It's just how we're built. Don't shoot the messenger. Think about it. If you're going to go to the gym and you're going to invest in a trainer that you're paying $250 a week, how much harder are you going to work? How much more are you going to show up? How much less are you going to cheat with your diet and everything else versus a gym membership that's like $29.99 a month? You're cheating those premium clients out of working with you, and you're cheating yourself out of working with the clients that are going to get the best results. And listen, it's okay. We've all been through this. If you've been in this space for a while, we've all had to deal with some level of this in one way or another because money is a very sensitive subject. You're not alone. Like, this is very, very common. So I think a better question than, oh my gosh, what should I charge? What do you feel you want to charge? And why not you? I know you're like, but there's these gurus, but they've just been at it longer than you. And P.S., they can't work with your ideal client at the level you can. The bigger they get, the less access you have to them. And we all know the transformation is in the support and in the integration and then the feedback. And in the accountability, right? And so those pieces I wouldn't say are lost at those higher levels, but you're just not getting the same level of support. And there's people right now that are praying for you and you alone to help them with their problem. I'll sum it up by saying this. The fact that you have this vision and this desire means that there are people right now that need what you have to offer. That's what created the desire in you in the first place. GoPro, decide, really own your value, your genius, and charge at your level of conviction. If you want to go deeper into this issue, check out the description below. There's a link where you can sign up for our next event where we explore this and so much more. Anything and everything around how to get more high ticket clients consistently, how to create a six-figure business and beyond. Please like this video so that you can see more of my content. Share it with somebody else that you know is playing small, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.